This AI workflow made me $47,000 last month while I slept. So 6 months ago, I was spending about 40 hours a week manually creating content, writing emails, and designing graphics like some digital caveman. Yeah. But here's what nobody tells you about AI and digital products. The biggest money saver isn't actually made by replacing yourself with AI. It's actually made by turning AI into your employees. So if you're still manually creating every single piece of content, writing every email yourself, and designing graphics from scratch, like it's 2019, you're going to be left behind. Here's the reality. 90% of sellers still think AI is just about asking ChatGPT questions or using it like a Google search engine. So they end up spending hours on tasks that top 1% sellers have already automated. And then they wonder why they're still stuck at the same income level month after month. So I recommend that you watch this video till the end because these 7 AI skills are going to become your unfair advantage. I'm not just teaching theory here. I'm actively selling digital products and using these exact AI tools every single day. So rather than hiring 10 VAs like most people at my level do, I use AI to do what would normally require an entire team. So that's how I can scale multiple 6-figure stores while actually having a life outside my laptop. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to be breaking down the 7 AI skills that separate struggling digital product sellers from those making consistent 6 figures. Let's get started. So first things first is ChatGPT and using it for threads and email marketing. Now, obviously, I know everyone knows about ChatGPT and you're probably already using it, but majority of people use it wrong. So using my detailed prompt, you can use ChatGPT to its full potential. And actually, I've created thread posts that have helped me with this exact method bring in as much as $1,793 in 24 hours on threads alone. And if you're wondering how I'm using threads specifically to generate these kinds of sales in just a few hours a day, and not burn out, I actually broke down my entire anti-influencer formula in a separate video. So this is the exact system I use to turn threads into a sales machine. So I'm gonna link that in the description so you can watch it after this one, because the truth is most sellers overcomplicate social media and don't realize that there's an easier way, which does not even require you to record yourself or dance on TikTok. So almost most sellers write copy terribly. They do not understand the emotional triggers which are needed to get someone to actually buy your product. So here's how I actually use ChatGPT. I don't ask it to just write a thread post because that's amateurish. I actually feed it specific information to get the results I want. So what problem does my product solve? Who is it for? And what is the transformation that it provides? Then I tell ChatGPT about the brand voice. So is it casual? Is it playful, authoritative? Because the copy needs to sound like your brand, right? Like something you personally would say or your brand would say. So for threads specifically, I use ChatGPT to craft personalized content that helps me nurture my leads. Then I create content that actually connects with my audience, not generic motivational quotes. And then I use these entire thread posts because each needs to match my voice and move the customer closer to the next purchase. So what used to take me an entire day now takes me about 30 minutes. But here's the key. ChatGPT doesn't replace your thinking, it amplifies it. So you still need to understand your customers and have a strategy. ChatGPT just makes the actual writing part 10 times faster and more effective. And because I don't believe in gatekeeping, I'm actually going to be dropping my exact ChatGPT prompts in the description box right now, completely free. And if you want the full blueprint of my complete AI-powered thread sales strategy that's designed to help you get results from day one without becoming a full-time content creator, make sure to check out the link in the description because I created a mini course which will give you the exact prompts and strategies so you can start crafting thread content that actually converts into actual sales. So don't sleep on this because it's only available for a limited time. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so I've got killer copy, but what about actually selling my product? Well, here's what nobody tells you. Now, you can have the best marketing in the world, but if your offer is confusing or your funnel or checkout process is extremely complicated, well, you're gonna be leaving money on the table. So I have seen sellers make this mistake, and that is why the next tool is gonna be a lifesaver, or should I say sales saver? Bad joke. Okay, well, let's move on to skill number 2. Skill number 2 is StanStore, which now includes an Ask Stanley AI tool. So StanStore now includes an auto DM feature, so you can DM folks who comment to your Instagram Reels or carousels without having to use ManyChat. You can also create simple landing pages, which you can set up as well funnels or even automatic email flows. And trust me, if used right, this one tool can change everything about how you sell digital products. Because I have seen many digital product sellers juggling up to 5 different tools, and obviously they feel overwhelmed in the process. So they end up using one platform for checkout, another for booking, a third for email capture, maybe even a fourth one for course hosting. So it's really overwhelming, expensive, and honestly, it's also killing your conversions. But StanStore is different because it's an all-in-one storefront that lives directly in your social media bio. And here's what makes it powerful. So StanStore allows you to sell digital products, host courses, book coaching calls, capture email leads, and even process payments, all using one simple link. So instead of sending your thread followers to a boring landing page with multiple links, they land on a mobile optimized store. So the transition is seamless, professional, and conversion focused. And here's the best part. So StanStore doesn't charge you any transaction fees on your sales, just a flat monthly subscription. So that means more money in your pocket compared to platforms that take a cut of every sale you make. Also, StanStore integrates with Stripe and PayPal for secure payment processing, so your customers can check out instantly. So there's no complicated setup, there's no technical headaches. It's super simple to use. And if you're on the Creator Pro plan, you get even more powerful features like automated email marketing, upsells at checkout, affiliate programs, and payment plans. So trust me, this is how you scale a digital product business without burning out or hiring a tech team. So listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the link for StanStore in the description box below for all my fellow sellers out there. Because listen, I understand your pain when it comes to selling digital products, so I got you. The struggle of managing multiple platforms, losing sales because of complicated checkouts, watching transaction fees eat into your profits, hey, I've been there just like you. But for now, let's move on to the next skill set. That skill number 3 is Perplexity AI for market data and customer insights. So this is a skill that actually keeps me 2 steps ahead of everyone else in my niche. Perplexity AI is like having a research assistant that can instantly pull market data, customer behavior patterns, and trend analysis from across the entire internet. So here's how I use it. Before I create any digital products, I ask Perplexity specific questions. So what are people currently struggling with in my niche? What questions are being asked repetitively on forums about this specific topic? And what are the emerging trends in this particular market? So Perplexity doesn't just give me generic answers, it actually searches the web in real time and gives me concise, accurate data with sources that I can easily verify. It's a great tool to use for product validation. So instead of spending days manually researching, I get comprehensive market insights in just a few minutes. I also use Perplexity to understand customer behaviors. So essentially understanding what makes them buy, what are their specific pain points, what type of language they're using to describe their problems, like what kind of specific words they're using, what kind of lingo, so I can implement that into the digital products that I am selling. And this information pretty much becomes the foundation for everything else. My product features, my marketing copy, my entire positioning strategy, and honestly, this product validation process, it's so critical that I actually created an entire mini course on how to use AI to validate product ideas before you waste any more time building something that nobody wants to buy from you. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about that at the end of this video because data-driven decisions always beat guesses and gut feelings. Always. But listen, you can have all the data in the world, you can know exactly what your customers want, but if your product looks cheap or unprofessional, well, they're not gonna buy. And that's where most sellers actually drop the ball. So the next skill fixes that problem in just a few minutes. Skill number 4 is Illus AI for product illustration. So most digital product sellers use generic templates that make their brand look cheap. But Illus AI generates custom product illustration, and you can also generate lifestyle images with detailed AI prompts. So for example, I wanted a professional mock-up of somebody using my digital planner on an iPad. So here's the detailed prompt that I created. Create an image of a woman sitting at a modern desk with natural lighting. She's holding an iPad with the screen clearly visible, showing a digital planner interface. Professional environment, soft lighting, focus on the device screen. And boom, it's just as simple as that. So this is a perfect lifestyle scene in just a few seconds. So make sure that you choose the photo style while generating it. So the key is being very specific with your prompts to get the exact results you want. So the more detail you give Illus AI, the better the output. So I use Illus AI for social media graphics and even custom illustrations for my actual digital products themselves. And if you're selling, for instance, custom holiday meal planners, you can simply use Illus AI to generate beautiful recipe card designs and ingredient graphics that go inside your digital product. Now, here's where things get interesting. So you've got the research, you got the copy, you got the landing page, you got the visuals, everything looks perfect, right? But if you're still manually posting content, manually sending emails, and manually doing every single task, well, you're going to burn out, almost like I did, right? So until I discovered this next skill that literally runs my business while I sleep. So that brings us to skill number 5, make AI for automation. So this is actually what separates hobbyists from real business owners. Make is a visual automation platform that connects over 2,000 apps and services, and it's specifically built for complex multi-step workflows. So here's my exact setup for digital product sales. So I sell digital products across Etsy, Shopify, and Kajabi and StenStore. And Make.com connects all these platforms together into a unified system. So whenever somebody buys from any of these platforms, Make.com is gonna automatically add them to my email list provider. And then it's gonna add also specific tag, send them personalized welcome email. It's gonna also log their purchase into a Google Sheet. This is my database, if you will. And it's also gonna enroll them in the right upsell sequence. So whether somebody buys a $17 planner on Etsy or a $197 course on Kajabi, they're all in the system, right? I can see everything in just one place. No manual work, no jumping between platforms, no missed customers, so just one automated system running 24/7. You can also use Make AI to automate your social media workflow. So Make AI can distribute it across multiple platforms at the optimal posting times. And also the visual interface means that you don't really need to know any code. You just connect the boxes that represent the different apps and actions. So now let's move on to the next AI skill. Skill number 6 is AGen for AI video content. Now, I've already talked about how overwhelming it is to create content for social media. And for my faceless digital business, I've been using Threads, which I've already explained in my recent video that you can watch. So this video pretty much breaks down exactly how I use Threads to make more sales without the typical social media grind. No dancing, no trends, and not needing to be on camera 24/7. And it's just strategic content that converts. But for my personal brand, I've actually been using AGen for short-form content for a little while now, if you haven't noticed. So it's a great tool if you want to use social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. But here's the thing, to be honest, you don't need these social media platforms to get sales, especially at the beginning, right? So Instagram and TikTok are not the only platforms out there. But if you are building a personal brand, well, obviously it's a plus. And listen, to get sales, you can absolutely get by with text-based platforms like Threads, and it actually performs better because it's easier than video. It's just another skill set that you have to learn. But if you want to be the face of your brand and you want to try it out, AGen is great. It's a great tool for that. Because essentially, AGen creates like professional videos without you ever being on camera. So you can create an AI clone of yourself, and that AI clone is going to deliver your script and lip sync and also have all your natural expression and hand gestures. So here's how it works. Like there's multiple ways of using it. First, write your script, and then you're gonna choose an avatar, either from their list, or you can create your own custom one that looks like you, right? And create an avatar clone using their avatar for technology. And then HeyGen generates a complete video with the avatar speaking your exact words that are in your script. You can also use HeyGen for short form content to add to your personal touch to your brand, right? You can also use it for video explainer videos, course introduction videos, email video messages. So all of these can be created using HeyGen, right? So if you choose to use video platform, HeyGen makes it really accessible to everyone. So regardless of your equipment or skills. So this brings me to the last AI skill for this video. So last up is market intelligence. And this is where most sellers completely miss the boat. Most sellers are flying blind, right? So they create products based on their gut feeling, and they have no idea what their competitors are doing or what customers are desperately searching for. And to be honest, I completely understand. Like manually doing this is absolutely exhausting, but not anymore. So I use Browse AI to track what's actually happening in the market. So this tool scrapes the web and brings you actionable intelligence about your competitors that you didn't even know existed, right? So here's my exact setup. I'm gonna track 3 top competitors' product page, not copy them, but to identify opportunities they're perhaps missing out on. And trend monitoring, well, this is pure gold. So I track what problems people are searching for on platforms like Reddit or Quora, and then Browse AI is gonna help me scrape these discussions automatically. It's gonna show me exactly what questions people are asking and what solution they're desperately seeking for. Then you can actually create products that solved these exact problems. So you're not guessing, but you're understanding what people want, right? So you're watching them tell you in real time, this is what they want, right? And so this is another way that you can perhaps validate your product ideas and mine data so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Now, let me be real with you, right? These AI tools are powerful, but they're not magic buns, right? You still need to understand your customer. You still need to create actual value. AI helps you amplify what you already do, but it doesn't replace your thinking. So I've given you the complete roadmap, the 7 AI skills that separate successful digital product sellers from folks who are struggling. But I know what you're thinking right now. This all sounds great, but where do I even start? What products should I actually sell? So that's the question that stops most people dead in their tracks. They stall and they procrastinate, and then months later, nothing's changed. Or worse, they do create something and then nothing. No sales, no feedback, no idea what went wrong, but it doesn't have to be that way. So what if you could pick products with 99% certainty they'll sell without wasting months of guessing? What if you could validate demand in just 30 minutes and start selling with confidence instead of feeling fearful, right? So that's exactly what I teach you inside the 1K AI Profit mini course, Product Finder. So inside this course, you'll learn my AI validation system that shows you which products people are already searching for. So this is in theory, like this is the exact process I use for every single digital product I launch across my multiple 6-figure stores. The 7 AI skills I showed you, well, they're completely useless if you're building the wrong product. So this course ensures that you build the right product, one that people actually want to buy. So stop wondering what to sell. Click the link in the description, join the 1K AI Profit Finder mini course. I'll see you guys inside.